Imagine speed over 300 kilometers per hour. One mistake, and everything is over. But F1 is not just about racing. It's about pressure, ego, teamwork, sacrifice, and survival. And now Hollywood has finally brought that madness to the big screen, with F1 starring Brad Pitt. So today, we are going to review this movie in full detail. Story, racing scenes, acting, cinematography, music, realism, and most importantly, is this movie actually worth watching for Formula One fans? Let's find out. Directed by Joseph Kosinski, the same director who made Top Gun Maverick, this movie instantly gives you that high adrenaline cinematic feeling. The film also has support from real Formula One teams, and even involvement from Lewis Hamilton, which already increases the realism level massively. Brad Pitt plays a retired Formula One driver who returns back to racing for one final chance. Classic comeback story, but executed in a very intense and emotional way. The story is actually simple but effective. Brad Pitt's character is an experienced racer who once had huge potential, but his career never reached legendary status. Now, years later, a struggling Formula One team brings him back to mentor a young, aggressive rookie driver. And from here, the real conflict starts. Because this movie is not just old versus young, it shows two different mentalities. One driver believes experience wins races. The other believes fearlessness wins races. And honestly, their chemistry becomes the biggest strength of the movie. The emotional moments are surprisingly good. The film talks about pressure, aging, career insecurity, failure, and redemption. Even if you don't watch Formula One regularly, you can still connect emotionally with the characters. This is where the movie becomes absolutely insane. The racing scenes are probably some of the best motorsport sequences ever filmed in cinema history. The camera angles feel extremely immersive. You literally feel like you are sitting inside the cockpit. Every overtake, every crash, every close corner battle feels intense and realistic. And because real Formula One environments were used during actual race weekends, the atmosphere feels authentic. The sound design deserves huge praise. When the engines roar, you actually feel the power. The editing during races is fast, but not confusing. Unlike many racing movies where action becomes messy, here you can clearly understand what's happening on track. Brad Pitt delivers a very controlled and mature performance. He doesn't try to act overly dramatic. Instead, he plays the role with calm confidence, which perfectly suits an experienced veteran racer. The younger driver also performs really well and brings aggressive energy to the film. Their rivalry feels natural. Even side characters like team engineers, pit crew members, and team owners feel believable. That's another reason why the movie works. It respects Formula One culture instead of turning everything into unrealistic Hollywood fantasy. Now, the biggest question. How realistic is the movie? Honestly, surprisingly realistic. Of course, some dramatic moments are added for entertainment, but overall, the film captures the actual pressure of Formula One beautifully. The strategy discussions, team politics, media pressure, driver mindset, everything feels authentic. Hardcore Formula One fans will notice a few cinematic exaggerations, but nothing that completely ruins the experience. And because real F1 influence was involved behind the scenes, the movie avoids becoming cringe. Visually, this movie is stunning. The sunset race shots, night circuits, rain sequences, everything looks premium. Joseph Kosinski once again proves he knows how to shoot speed. The background score also increases tension perfectly. During emotional scenes, music stays subtle. During races, it becomes explosive. And that balance keeps the movie engaging throughout. So, overall, F1 is not just a racing movie. It's a movie about ambition, fear, legacy, and second chances. Even if you are not a Formula One fan, the emotional storytelling and cinematic experience make it entertaining. But if you are an F1 fan, then this film becomes a must-watch experience on the biggest screen possible. My rating would be story, 8 out of 10, acting, 8.5 out of 10, racing sequences, 10 out of 10, music and cinematography, 9 out of 10, overall, 8.8 out of 10. And yes, this might become one of the greatest racing films ever made. So what do you think about the movie? Did Hollywood finally do justice to Formula One? Comment below. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video.